Did you watch the Everyday Struggle episode where they interviewed Jeezy?
Yeah, I seen that.
Well, how you feel about that interview?
How do I feel?
If you want to call it an interview.
Yeah, it wasn't really an interview. It was like, I think Jeezy came there to set a tone.
Yeah.
And came there to I think he came there to bully in a sense, really.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You think, was he successful?
I think depending how you're looking at it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think to some people, if you're a Jeezy fan, or you know what I mean, if you looking at it in contrast to other interviews that took place on Everyday Struggle, you would say that yeah, it was successful. But however, I feel like if Joe wanted to, he could have interjected, but I feel like he's getting the bigger picture nowadays. Like he's getting that, we have a platform. Yeah. We want artists to come up here, so we don't want to be causing too much conflict. You know what I mean? I got you,
and I can see that.
Yeah.
When I looked at it, I was saying to myself that we can call him journalists, right?
Yeah.
So as a journalist, and I guess we can consider ourselves journalists. Mm-hmm. You got to have certain kind of integrity, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to be able to stand on your words, mm-hmm. and I feel like he didn't stand on his words when Jeezy came through. I feel like when certain artists come through, mm-hmm. they'll stand on their words. Mm-hmm. But when other kinds of artists come through, it's like, all right, let me back off this a little bit, or let me not go hard as I would go when you wasn't there.
What was his words? What was his words that he had to stand on?
I wouldn't even necessarily. I can't really think of anything specific, but the whole tone of the conversation before that.
Yeah. Well,
where he was saying that Jeezy's cold right now.
Yeah.
He didn't say that not one time during the interview with Jeezy. Mm-hmm. He was talking about him, he had a specific term for it. But basically he was saying that Jeezy ain't hot in the streets. Yeah, but
I think he cleared that up prior to Jeezy coming. He was like, I did not realize this man was an A&R and he had things going on behind the scenes, so I had him fucked up. That's prior to Jeezy coming.
Okay.
He clarified that.
He did
clarified that. Now, I mean, with Jeezy, I know Jeezy has affiliation with Tax Stones. Mm-hmm. They I think they did some things in the back in the day when Jeezy was coming up and everything like that. So
yeah,
I don't know if you remember the Tax Stone interview with Joe Budden.
Yeah, when he walked off.
Yeah. But I think that the whole energy of that, I think Jeezy came there to, just to be that presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, man, I'm gonna stand on that man stuff, and you know what I mean. Like basically, I think Jeezy kind of shitted on their platform in a sense.
Oh hell yeah! Throughout the conversation, as Jeezy was talking, mm-hmm. he kept on throwing like little shots where I ain't gonna sit up here in this chair and criticize somebody and then go right back to my house, and I ain't gonna do this and then go right back to my house, and I feel like y'all using this platform wrong and this, that, and the third. And he talking about. If you have something to say, go set up shop in the middle of the hood and go talk to. What are you talking about, bro?
So that's what I'm saying. So if we're gonna say Joe and them ain't standing on what they put out there, then it's like, how do I stand on that? Like, yo, all right, you cool, you got that point off, whatever. You saying you did it, so why I ain't gonna come shit on it? But at the same time, like, yo, it's a platform to talk and have discussions about things. It doesn't mean that they're shitting on these kids or these rappers coming up. It doesn't mean that.
And I don't agree with that either. But at the same time, like I said, I feel like if somebody like Charlemagne was in that same position, mm-hmm. Charlemagne would have clarified certain statements. Charlemagne would have pushed back on certain things. I think that because Joe and academics ain't really used to the whole interview process, they still kind of getting their feet wet with that. Mm-hmm. I feel like they don't really know how to push back and not start an argument, or push back and have the audience respect exactly what they pushing back on. Because I feel like a lot, like you said, as Jeezy was talking, he was taking the little jabs. He was shitting on their platform. He was doing this and that. And I felt like at those moments, I don't know if check him is the correct word, mm-hmm. but you should have checked him in that situation.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, I think his attitude, like, he's a big artist. Let's just keep that real. So for him to even be on a platform is mm-hmm. a plus anyway. So whichever way it went, that's a big plus for them. That's a big win for them. So having him on their platform they have to take some kind of caution and courtesy towards artists on the caliber of Jeezy.
I kind of want to disagree with that because I feel like they've built that between academics building his own YouTube following, Joe Budden being an artist previously, building his podcast, and then coming together, and then Nadeska being I guess a accomplished hip hop journalist or whatever. I think them collectively already established Everyday Struggle as something that people want to watch, because if you think about it, this show only comes on YouTube. It's not on TV. And I assume that they trying to get to the point where they do get a TV show or something like that. So I feel like they already built it, so it really doesn't matter if Jeezy comes on there or not. I feel like it does. Reason being is that there's different kind of hip hop fans at the end of the day, and I think that's something that Jeezy was pointing out in a negative way, was there's different kind of hip hop fans. So now Jeezy's coming from it as like, yo, I'm a real street nigga. I'm doing rap. I'm not with this, yo, who top 5, top this, top that. I'm not a rappity rap type of rapper. You know what I mean? I'm a real nigga. So what I'm saying is there's an audience out there that only fucks with that type of feel. Like they fucks with the Jeezys, the Boosies, the this, the that. You know what I'm saying? They're not fucking with that celebrity of them. They're fucking with that real shit. So that in turn, I think, brought that audience in. You see what I'm saying? I feel you on that one. And
if a nigga hating calling Joe Buttons, like they're only gonna give Joe Buttons more light now.
Definitely,
you know definitely. Migos just like amped them up like a million.
But even with Jeezy saying that, that's another thing that I have a problem with.
Yeah,
and I would have said this to him if I was conducting the interview. If you rapping, why keep on saying that I'm not a rapper? Why do certain cats do that? Like I assume, I
think it's a feel. It's not really like I don't rap. It's like I'm not a rapper. Like there's rapping for like you're rapping to put out art, whereas though some people feel like they just rapping to, you know what I'm saying, put out a message, or you know what I'm saying. So I think that's the difference.
But at the end of the day, I'm judging you on your music. If you think back to the 2 episodes before, when Joe Budden was saying what he said, for the most part, he's talking about the music. He was like, yo, man, you've been cold out here. The general public don't look at you the way that they look at X, Y, and Z, and blah, 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 blah. Like you said, he came back and fans let him know what Jeezy is doing in X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, we're here to judge your music. Why is it that artists like Jeezy, artists like Boosie, whoever, a lot of these street artists, I ain't no rapper. You a fucking rapper, though.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And to backpedal a little bit, it's kind of like when you say like Joe Budden's like, yo, you're cold out here or whatever. Like sometimes people jump out the window. You're not really ready to stand by everything you said. Like, you know what I mean? He might have brought that up and was like, yo, I was wilding. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
like you said, he did come back and say that he was wilding a little bit.
Right. So it's like, yo, how much of that do I have to stand on? You know what I mean? Like I was wilding a little bit. My bad.
But besides Jeezy core fans, when and I think that's what he was saying. Jeezy has the ability to bring out a certain kind of people or a certain amount of people, regardless of if he got a single out that's hot or not or whatever. But for the general public, for the general people that listen to rap right now, is Jeezy, is anybody, like, before this album dropped, anybody you talk to hip hop about besides me was like, yo, I'm waiting for this Jeezy album. Like, yo, I'm excited to hear this Jeezy album.
I mean, be honest with you, I don't hear that about anybody though.
Got you.
So I mean, it's not just Jeezy. So I think because the industry and the music business is so saturated with so many different artists, it's kind of like, you know, a pleasant surprise when we hear the Jeezys is coming, when we hear the Ross is about to drop, when we hear the M is coming, or you know, I mean, whoever we hold on a higher standard, you know, we get excited for them, although we're not necessarily looking for it. It's like, oh shit, Jay-Z about to drop an album for real, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like that's how we look at it.
So I know you said that you was excited to hear the project when you saw the track list. Did you hear the project?
Yes, I did.
And how you feel about the project?
I like it.
Yeah. I thought. I mean, I gotta listen to it a little bit more, but
I mean it's different. Listen, I mean, like what I try to do is like, I mean, just because we've started this podcast and we've gotten a lot more traction as of late.
Yeah.
And which I appreciate. So sometimes I try to listen to things like, oh man, I might have to comment on this. Let me, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, shut, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening for me now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I turn off like what my expectations are or what I'm listening for. Let me listen for me and let me see if I could enjoy this. Let me take a ride. Let me circle the block a couple extra times before I come home just to, you know what I mean, catch a vibe off this album. You know what I mean? And I think I enjoyed listening to the Jeezy album onto that.
I think it caught fire a little bit towards the end of the album.
Yeah.
Like maybe the last 4 tracks I'm really feeling. But everything before that is just kind of like the same old same. And I mean, when I say that, I already know kind of what to expect from Jeezy.
Yeah, that's true.
But he ain't motivating me like he did when he first came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's just not doing it. Yeah. So I mean, I listened to it and I was just like, yo, it's okay. Like it's borderline trash, man, to me. But I mean, I don't know.
Let's not throw around that trash word too much now. Like it's not. I mean, what you thought about the Kendrick and Cole song? Hyped up.
Yeah.
Overhyped. Yeah, I thought it was overhyped. I thought it was overhyped for sure. Yeah. For sure. Like I was trying to catch it. I'm listening. I'm like, yo, I mean, Cole's saying some shit, I'm sure, but I'm not sure if I'm getting it. I like the cadence that Kendrick came in on, but
I think we at a point now in especially with hip hop music that it's gonna take a lot to catch you. Yeah. Me personally, like when I listen to for right now, the album that I'm bumping right now, back to back is Sci-Hi the Prince.
Yeah.
Like I'm bumping that album from front to back right now.
Yeah.
And not skipping no tracks.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like there's different type of audiences, and I feel like you're somebody that's in tune to rapping, bars, and lyrics. And I think that the kind of audience that Jeezy caters to is not necessarily that. It's more so like, I'm gonna talk some real shit right quick, and you know what I mean, you can fuck with it if you want to.
And even kind of getting off of Jeezy, I agree with what you're saying. I am definitely I'm the type of person that's listening to the lyrics and whatever. But then again, I'm also sometimes you listening to shit just to get a vibe from it.
Yeah.
So like on the opposite end of the spectrum, 21 Savage album. Yeah. I really enjoy that album, listening to it pretty much from front to back. And I think that it has a nice vibe. Yeah. I'm not listening to them to be super lyrical.
And it's easy to catch a vibe off dudes like that because they're new. It's new. It's different. Yeah. It's new. You know what I mean? Your ear is not trained to listen to them. So, you know what I mean? Whatever vibe, tempo, or whatever feeling it's trying to convey off the album, you're going to catch it because it's new. Whereas though, like, our older artists, man, like, they have to reinvent themselves every time they come out, or else we won't know how to appreciate it because our ears are already trained to listen to certain things from them.
Got you.
So unless they come in completely different, it's like it's hard to appreciate it.